Here's a little secret about pen collectors. Ask any one of them to show you their favorite pen, and they will probably pull out something expensive. But take a look at what is actually inked up on their desk, the pens they really use every single day, and you will notice something funny. Half of them cost less than lunch. Today, I'm going to show you 7 cheap fountain pens that almost everyone overlooks, but that the people deepest in this hobby quietly adore. A couple of these are going to genuinely surprise you. So subscribe and let's get right into it. Number 7, the Platinum Preppy. We have to start with the $7 pen that has no business being this good. If you saw a Preppy in a store, you would walk right past it. Most people do. It is a lightweight, clear plastic pen with a printed cap, and it looks like something you would grab in a 3-pack for a college class. And that is exactly why it belongs on this list. Because hiding inside that plastic body is something genuinely remarkable. Platinum is one of the big 3 Japanese pen makers. The same company that builds $200 gold nib pens with a century of history behind them. And a while back, they made a decision that still amazes people in this hobby. They took the slip and seal cap, their patented sealing mechanism, the technology that keeps ink from drying out for up to 2 years, the same feature they advertise on their flagship, and they put it in a $7 pen. Nobody does that. Companies save their best tricks for the expensive stuff. Platinum gave it to the cheapest pen they make. So here is what owning a Preppy is actually like. You can ink it up, toss it in a drawer, forget about it for 6 months, and when you find it again, it writes on the very first stroke. No skipping, no scratching, no shaking it like a ketchup bottle. There are $100 pens, respected ones, that fail that test constantly. The steel nib is smooth and consistent. It comes in sizes from extra fine to medium, and the ink colors match the cap, so you can keep a whole rainbow of them sorted at a glance. And that is exactly how collectors use them, not as one pen, but as a fleet. They buy Preppies by the handful and load them with the risky stuff, the shimmering inks, the permanent inks, the weird experimental colors nobody would dare put in an expensive pen, because some inks can stain or clog a pen over time. If a $7 pen gets wrecked, who cares? Except here is the punchline. They rarely get wrecked. People report Preppies running for years, the single best value in the entire hobby. Number 6, the Pilot Kuno. This next one is literally sold as a children's pen. That is not a joke. It is the actual marketing. Pilot designed the Kuno to teach kids in Japan how to write with a fountain pen, and they even engraved a tiny smiley face on the nib so children would know which way is up. So why do grown adults with thousands of dollars in their pen cases keep buying it? Because Pilot did something a little sneaky here, and the community caught on fast. The nib on this $15 children's pen is essentially the same steel nib Pilot puts on its $60 pens. Same factory, same quality control, same famously smooth Pilot writing experience. They did not design a cheaper nib for the cheap pen. They took the good nib and wrapped it in cheerful plastic. And the body design, the part that is supposedly just for kids, turns out to be quietly brilliant for everyone. The barrel is hexagonal, like a pencil, so it never rolls off your desk. The grip section is molded with soft, flat sides that guide your fingers into the correct position without you thinking about it, which sounds like a gimmick until you realize it makes the pen comfortable for hours. Even the missing clip, which sounds like a cost cut, turns out to be a feature. There is nothing digging into your hand no matter how you hold it, and the cap has a little bump, so the pen still will not roll away. Ask around in the community, and you will hear the same slightly embarrassed confession over and over. People with serious collections, gold nibs, limited editions, the works, admit that when they just want to write, when nobody is watching, they reach for the Kuno. It is light, it is friendly, it never fails, and it costs less than a movie ticket. Japanese school children get better pens than most executives, and honestly, good for them. Number 5, the Jinhao X159. Alright, this one is going to sound absurd, so stay with me. There is a very famous, very expensive flagship pen out there. Big, cigar-shaped, glossy black resin, gold trim, the pen you picture when you imagine a CEO signing something important. It sits behind glass in boutiques, and it costs around $900. The Jinhao X159 is that same size, that same shape, that same commanding presence on a desk. It costs about $7. Now, Jinhao is a Chinese manufacturer, and for years their pens were hit or miss. Decent bodies with scratchy, unpredictable nibs. The community treated them like a lottery. Then a few years ago, Jinhao quietly upgraded their nib lineup, and everything changed. The X159 got a smooth, well-tuned, number 8 size steel nib, one of those big dramatic nibs you usually only see on luxury pens, and suddenly the reviews flipped. People ordered one out of curiosity, expecting a paperweight, and instead got a pen that wrote smoother out of the box than pens costing $50 and $80. Then they ordered 5 more. That is the classic Jinhao story now. Nobody buys just one. Let me be honest with you about what this pen is and is not. It is not a $900 writing experience. The balance is not as refined, the resin is not as deep and rich, and the quality control is not perfect. Occasionally you get a dud, which at $7 is an inconvenience rather than a tragedy. But what it absolutely delivers is the experience of a huge, serious, oversized flagship pen. The heft, the drama, the way it fills your hand for the price of a sandwich. And that answers a question a lot of people are honestly embarrassed to ask out loud. What is it actually like to write with one of those enormous executive pens? For $7, you find out. Some people discover the big pen life is not for them, and they just saved $900. Others fall in love with the size, keep the X159 inked for years, and start saving for the real thing with total confidence in what they want. Either way, it might be the smartest $7 you can spend in this hobby. Number 4. The Wing Sung 601. This one is for anybody who has ever looked at vintage pens and felt that pull. Because there is a problem with vintage pens. The good ones are expensive, the cheap ones are broken, and either way, you are trusting 70-year-old parts with your ink. Quick history lesson, because the story here is genuinely great. Back in the 1940s, the Parker 51 was the most famous pen on earth. Hooded nib, arrow clip, that sleek rocket ship silhouette. It was the pen of presidents and generals, and it is still considered one of the greatest pens ever designed. Original 51s in good shape are collector items now. Wing Sung, a Chinese maker with roots going back decades, built the 601 as a faithful, affectionate tribute to that legend. Same hooded nib, same arrow clip, same unmistakable mid-century look, brand new for under $20. But the looks are only half of it, and here is the detail that makes pen people lose their minds. The 601 does not use a modern cartridge. It uses a genuine vacuumatic filling system, the same style of mechanism the original used 80 years ago. There is a little plunger hidden under a blind cap at the back of the barrel. You dip the nib in a bottle, press the plunger a few times, and watch the ink climb up into the barrel itself. No cartridge, no converter. The whole barrel is the tank, which means it holds an enormous amount of ink. Filling it feels like operating a tiny piece of vintage machinery, because that is exactly what you are doing. The hooded steel nib writes a fine, wet, surprisingly smooth line, and because the nib is mostly covered, it barely dries out between sentences while you think. Fair warning, vacuumatic pens are a bit more involved to clean, so the move is to pick 1 or 2 inks you love and stick with them. But that is a small price for what you get, which is the closest thing this hobby has to a working time machine, under $20, and you are writing with the 1940s. Number 3, the Sailor Fude de Mannen. Now for the strangest pen on this list, and probably the most fun. This one comes from Sailor, and if you know pens, that name should make you sit up, because Sailor is one of the most respected nib makers on the planet. Their gold nib pens run $300 and up, and their master nib craftsmen are minor celebrities in this hobby. This pen costs about $12, and the nib is bent on purpose. The tip angles sharply upward at 55 degrees, like somebody folded it against a table edge. That bend is the entire magic trick. It is called a Fude nib, and it is modeled after Japanese calligraphy brushes. Here is how it works. The line width changes depending on the angle you hold the pen. Hold it upright, nearly vertical, and only the very tip touches the paper, giving you a thin, precise line. Drop your hand lower and more of that bent surface contacts the page, and the line swells out broad and bold like a brushstroke. One nib, every line width from needle to marker, controlled entirely by your wrist. No mechanism, no gimmick, just clever geometry, and people find endless uses for it. Artists hoard this pen for sketching because you can shade and outline with a single tool. Journal keepers use it for big, expressive headers and then flip to a steeper angle for the body text. Calligraphy-curious people buy it as the cheapest possible way to play with line variation, the effect that usually requires either years of skill or very expensive flexible nibs. And plenty of regular writers keep one inked just because it makes ordinary handwriting look alive. There is no cheaper way in this hobby to feel like you have unlocked a brand new skill in an afternoon. $12 from one of the finest nib houses alive. The fact that this pen is not famous outside the community is honestly a little bit crazy. Number 2. The Platinum Plaisir. Remember the $7 Preppy from the start of the list? Meet its glow up. The Plaisir is what happened when Platinum realized the Preppy had a fan problem. People loved how the pen wrote, but grown adults kept asking for a version they would not be embarrassed to use in a meeting. So Platinum took everything that made the Preppy great, the excellent steel nib, the slip and seal cap that keeps it writing after months in a drawer, and wrapped it in a body that actually looks the part. Anodized aluminum, cool and solid to the touch with a soft, pearlescent finish that comes in a whole range of colors, from quiet gunmetal to bright teal. It runs about $22, and nobody who picks it up believes that number. Now, here is the insider trick that turned the Plaisir into a cult favorite, and it is something Platinum barely advertises. The nib and grip sections are interchangeable with the Preppy. They just screw right in. So the community treats the whole line as a modular system. Buy a few Preppies to test different nib sizes for $7 each. Find the one your handwriting loves. Then move that exact nib into the aluminum Plaisir body. You end up with a personally tuned, metal-bodied Japanese pen for the cost of a pizza night. That kind of mix and match tinkering is half the joy of this hobby. And Platinum basically built it in at pocket money prices. If you want one cheap pen that does not look, feel, or behave cheap, one you could hand across a desk to a client without a flicker of doubt, this is the pick. It is the office-ready pen hiding in the school supplies aisle. Number 1. The Majohn A1. And the number 1 spot goes to the cheap pen that genuinely rattled the industry a little. Some background, because you need it to appreciate this. One of the cleverest pens ever engineered is a Japanese design called the Vanishing Point. It is a fountain pen with a click button, like a ballpoint. Press the button, and a real gold nib pops out of the tip. Press it again, and the nib retracts behind a little sealed trap door so it never dries out. One-handed, instant, brilliant. It has been in production for 60 years. Nobody else ever really matched it, and it costs around $200. Then, a Chinese maker called Majohn came along and built the A1, a pen that does the same thing for about $28. And look, homage pens are common, but they usually cut the corner that matters. Everyone expected the A1's click mechanism to be mushy, or the seal to leak air and dry the nib out in a week. That is not what happened. The mechanism clicks with a solid, satisfying snap. The internal trapdoor actually seals. The slim metal body feels machined and substantial, closer to a nice multi-tool than a cheap gadget. And the steel nib writes a clean, smooth, reliable line every single time it clicks out. When this pen first appeared, the community's reaction was open disbelief, people buying it just to confirm it could not be that good, and then, pretty quickly, the reviews shifted to something like respect. Here's the part that tells you everything. Plenty of serious collectors who own the $200 original also keep an A1 in the rotation, not instead of it, alongside it. Because the whole point of a retractable fountain pen is convenience. The pen that lives in your jacket, the one you click open one-handed while holding a phone, the grocery list pen, the meeting pen. And it is a lot easier to live that life with a $28 pen than with a $200 one you are scared to scratch. Click, write, click, done, with a real nib. It is the most genuinely useful cheap pen you can buy. and the fact that it exists at this price still feels slightly unfair. That is why it is number one. So, that is the list. 7 pens, all under $30, every single one of them quietly beloved by the people who know this hobby best. And notice the pattern. None of these pens are famous. None of them run ads. Every one of them earned its reputation the slow way, one impressed writer telling another, which is the most honest way a pen can earn anything. So here's my suggestion. Pick one. Whichever one made you lean in a little. They're all under $30, so the risk is a couple of coffees. Ink it up, carry it for a week, and see if it clicks. Because that is how almost everyone deep in this hobby actually started. Not with a $900 flagship, with one cheap pen that turned out to be way, way better than it had any right to be. If this saved you some money, or just cost you $30, subscribe. We dig up the pens worth knowing about. No hype, no sponsors, no logo worship. And drop a comment. Tell me which one of these you would try first. I read every single one.